Welcome back. One final point before we go tonight. Can we just take one moment and be thankful that this Super Bowl, we were not subjected to the sight that causes our skin to crawl, makes our blood boil red, white, and blue lives matter. We did not see a single NFL player stoop to his knee or turn his back on our flag. And even though I'm wearing black today to mourn the Patriots' loss, don't at me, haters gonna hate, good old-fashioned football without symbolically defecating on Old Glory, that's something of a victory, isn't it? Might be a little too late for the NFL. Ratings for this Super Bowl plummeted to an 8-year low. But that did not stop Colin Kaepernick, the grand fool who started the whole charade, and his little minions, from protesting the game because they claimed Kaepernick was blacklisted from the league. Well, my sensitive little friends on the left, I am here to tell you, you are wrong. Colin Kaepernick was not excluded from the Super Bowl because he's black, or because of his unpatriotic kneeling, or because he single-handedly torched the NFL by parading a false narrative about police officers targeting black people because they're black. Spoiler alert, police don't do that. A little cursory research will show you the truth. And before you call me a racist or white privilege or whatever insult you've invented this week, Google Harvard professor Roland Fryer. Read his study on police brutality, and then get back to me. Anyway, Colin Kaepernick wasn't blacklisted from the Super Bowl because his politics are dumb and dangerous. He was cut from the league because he's a lousy football player. But he knows that. Imagine somebody grabbing somebody's face mask and getting a penalty flag thrown at you, and then blaming the white ref for targeting you because you're black. No one wants a whiny victim on their team. But how else will Kaepernick keep people listening to his drivel if he doesn't play the victim? Colin Kaepernick recently gave $20,000 to a charity glorifying Assata Shakur. The charity is called Assata's Daughters. They state on their website that their purpose is to, and I quote here, carry on the tradition of the radical liberatory activism encompassed by Assata Shakur. Now, in case you're not familiar with the word liberatory, it means to free a nation from control by an oppressive government, or to free a group from social or economic constraints or discrimination, especially arising from traditional role expectations or bias. So first of all, to understand the antics of Colin Kaepernick, let me tell you about Assata Shakur. Assata Shakur murdered a cop. Assata Shakur was convicted of first-degree murder of this cop. She then escaped prison. She fled to communist Cuba, where she lives today. Assata Shakur is currently on the FBI's most wanted list. And New Jersey State Trooper Werner Forster, the man she murdered in cold blood, his family is still living without him. Assata Shakur's real name is Joanne Chesimard. Shakur was a member of the Black Liberation Army. The Black Liberation Army was a communist domestic terror group. They bombed churches and banks. They tried to murder police officers, and they were successful. The Black Liberation Army targeted police officers and killed them. The Black Liberation Army committed robberies and broke their members out of prison. And now Colin Kaepernick gives $20,000 to a charity glorifying Assata Shakur and her tactics of murder and terror. And that brings us to my final point. It's no wonder Colin Kaepernick won't stand for the American flag. Colin Kaepernick bankrolls radicals who destroy the essence of our flag and glorifies communists who murder the brave men and women who defend the red, white, and blue. I, for one, am glad Colin Kaepernick was nowhere to be seen in Super Bowl 52. And that is my final point. You can reach me on Twitter at Liz_Wheeler. If you liked the show, please send me an email at oann.com/contact. In the meantime, catch us here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. And until then, have a good night.